Jai Sri Ram. Narada Bhakti Sutras continued. Total renunciation of this world and total absorption in Krishna Bhakti. That is devotion, that is Bhakti. The mind gets purified and melted through spiritual sadhana and then flows incessantly towards Krishna. Just as the river flows towards the sea, Ganga flows towards the sea, so also the mind flows towards Krishna once it hears the attributes of Krishna. The Shandilya Bhakti Sutra says devotion, bhakti. Bhakti basically means intense attachment to Krishna. Bhakti can be divided into three types, three categories: Tamasic Bhakti, Rajasic Bhakti, and Sattvic Bhakti. Narada is mentioned in Samaveda also, and he authored the musical treatise known as Sangeeta Makarandam. Sangeeta Makaranda. Of course, Narada is also the Rishi in Rigveda. In the Rigveda Samhita, Indra Suteshu Someshu, he is the Rishi of this mantra. Narada Rishi is mentioned even in Atharva Veda, in the Rigveda again, in the mantra Sukhaya A Nividata. And in Atharva Veda 5.19.9, 12.4.16, and in the Chandogya Upanishads, in the Bhumi Vidya, Narada is shown as a disciple of Sanat Kumar. In the Puranas, Narada is found everywhere, especially in the Bhagavatam. The story of Narada is all mixed up anyway. He is the son of a Shudra maid who in his previous life, as a 5-year-old child, served some rishis who were spending Chaturmasya, 4 months of the rainy season, at one place. And by their grace and by the service to them, he was initiated into the Mahamantra, Om Namo Narayanaya. And then his mother died due to a snake bite, and he was lost. He was in a forest. Then he, I believe, had a vision of Krishna, and then a voice told him that in that particular life this is all that he could get. But when he is born in the next life, actually he is born as the spiritual son of Brahma. After shedding that body, he is born as the Manasaputra of Brahma, and he achieves the status of a divine Rishi, Maharshi. Narada keeps traveling from several worlds, from one to another, and he assists those who are in spiritual distress. He preaches the knowledge of Dharma, and sometimes he is believed to precipitate quarrels also. It was Narada who urged Valmiki to compose Ramayana and Vyasa. Narada urged Valmiki to compose the Ramayana, Narada urged Vyasa to write the Mahabharata. Again, Bhagavata Dharma he preached to Prahlada while the latter was still in his mother's womb. And Krishna himself praises Narada in the Shanti Parva 230. Narada authored many books, and these are the works authored by Narada: Narada Bhakti Sutra, Narada Smriti, Naradiya Shiksha, Narada Parivrajaka Upanishad, Naradiya Purana, Narada Pancharatra. Narada Bhakti Sutras are 84 in number, 84 Bhakti Sutras. So in the Narada Bhakti Sutras, Narada says the objective of human life is realization of Krishna. Krishna exists in everyone's heart. He is very close to us. He is the innermost self, Antaryami. He dislikes pride and egoism. He adores, he appreciates humility. He is called Bhagavan. And when the devotees listen to his virtues and sing in his praise and pray to him, he receives these as offerings and appears before them and blesses them, because he is grace personified. Once Krishna appears, everything will have been achieved. What Narada preached also originally came from Krishna only. Narada clearly asserts bhakti is superior to knowledge, bhakti is superior to yoga, bhakti is superior to karma. In fact, Narada asserts also that this is superior to all the three, and it is indeed the result of all the three. In fact, it is the result of all the three. That is jnana, yoga, and karma. Bhakti is the synthesis of all, or the culmination of all. So, in the Narada Bhakti Sutras, bhakti is divided into parabhakti, aparabhakti, and aparabhakti further divided into gauni bhakti, mukhya bhakti. Parabhakti is the aim, aparabhakti is the means to attain it. Parabhakti is the manifestation of joy that results from God realization. It is love for Krishna. When parabhakti is aroused, it will find expression in many ways. Performing different rituals, or eagerness and great interest and enthusiasm in listening to stories about Krishna, and Sharanagati, surrendering all works to Krishna, and a great longing to meet Krishna. In Apara Bhakti, the two stages are Gauni Bhakti, and higher Bhakti of higher Apara Bhakti is Mukhya Bhakti or Prema Bhakti. Gauni Bhakti, three kinds: Satvika, Rajasika, Tamasika, or Artha Bhakti, Artha Bhakti, Jignasa Bhakti. So, Gauni Bhakti is easy because it is the natural love that resides in the human heart and needs to be directed towards Krishna. So, with great practice, one attains joy, and this Gauni Bhakti appears in 11 different ways. This detail we will discuss later. Mukhya Bhakti. Gauni Bhakti leads to Mukhya Bhakti, which is also called Prema Bhakti or Ekanta Bhakti. This is the penultimate state of Parabhakti, the last but one step. So the Mukhya Bhakti or Prema Bhakti is experienced inside the heart. It cannot be described in words. It is ineffable, anirvachaniyam. It is like a mute person, a person who cannot speak. If such a person enjoys a delicious item of food, he will be in no position to explain because he first of all cannot speak. So this is the best analogy. Like the salt doll example given by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Somebody asked Paramahamsa, what is this moksha and how does it feel? So Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa gave the analogy of a salt doll. A doll made of salt decided to measure the depth of the ocean, and he went into the ocean, and the moment it stepped into the ocean, it dissolved. So that is the best example. So Narada clearly mentions that samskaras, which are proclivities, mental predilections, bad samskaras are desire, anger, and the company of the wicked will increase these bad samsaras. So always seek the company of Sant. So you can develop a Sant Svabhava. And Maya, illusion, delusion, captivating power of Krishna. Very difficult to cross. Only when you see Krishna it becomes easy. And unless you cross this ocean of Maya, there cannot be any liberation. You cannot be ignorant and still hope to be free. And the person who attains liberation, that is Parabhakti, is a Siddha Purusha, ever contented, doesn't crave for anything, totally blissful, no trace of sorrow, because he can see Krishna everywhere. He doesn't hate anyone. He is contented. He does not need to engage himself in any action to satisfy his desires. Sometimes he is wrapped in Parabhakti, like a bee that has sucked honey a little too much. Sometimes he is lost in himself. He listens only to things about Krishna. He talks about Krishna, thinks about Krishna. When he meets other devotees, all of them converse about Krishna. That is how they spend their time. You may say We belong to the Krishna Bhakta caste. Our caste is Krishna Bhakta caste, KBC. And Narada obtained this knowledge about bhakti from Shiva, from Mahadev, from Shiva himself. And all these great devotees, Vyasa, Sanatakumara, Shuka, Shandilya, Bali, Hanuman, Vibhishan, they all are great figures in the bhakti tradition. They are totally absorbed in Krishna bhakti, unmindful of all kinds of frivolous criticism leveled against them by all kinds of uncultured people. That is Sthitaprajnas. They are all Sthitaprajnas. If you want a book on Narada Bhakti Sutras, go to the nearest Ramakrishna Math. The book by Swami Bhuteshananda. Swami Bhuteshananda. He was the 12th president of Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission, and he was a great scholar. So when he went to Japan, he delivered several informal discourses on Narada Bhakti Sutras, which were attended by many Japanese students. They later transcribed it and sent the scripts to Belur Mutt. And so you have this wonderful book, Narada Bhakti Sutras by Swami Bhuteshananda, Ramakrishna Mutt. Please get yourself a copy. In the Narada Bhakti Sutras, the first sutra is Adhato Bhaktim Vyakhyāsyāmaha. Adha, after acquiring the competence of the mind to understand the path of bhakti, ataha, because that is the easiest path leading to Krishna consciousness, Krishna bhakti, Vyakhyāsyāmaha, we shall explain how it is to be attained. Now, therefore, we shall explain devotion to Krishna. So, this is only for those who have the competence to receive the teaching. It is not for all kinds of curiosity mongers or mere intellectual speculation. So in the Bhagavad Gita also, 18th chapter 67, Krishna says, Idante na tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana nacha shushrushavē vāchyam nacha me abhyasuyati. So do not teach this to a person who doesn't have the competence, na tapaskaya, who has not undertaken the kind of austerities expected of a bhakti. So that is bhakti yogi. So those who are not devotees and who have no interest in listening, there is no point in teaching them, right? It is like casting pearls before swine. So please don't waste your time. Unless people have the competence, there is no question discussing Gita and Bhakti Sutras. The 84th Sutra clearly says, Yaidam Narada Proktam Shivanushasanam. So this is whoever believes and follows the Shraddha, this auspicious teaching of Narada, which was conferred on him by Shiva, becomes a lover of Krishna and realizes the aim of life. Yaidam Narada Proktam Shivanushasanam Vishwasiti Shraddhate Sabhaktiman Bhavati Sapreshtham Labhate Sahpreshtham Labhate. Om Tat Sat.